did that tree get the mango seed? Then you go up like this. Huh? Finally you find there is one seed, mango seed, from which all the mango trees in this world have come. Okay, who produced the original seed? That is given in Bhagavad Gita 14.4. Bhagavad Gita. Sarvayonishutam teya murtaya sambhavanti yaha tasam. Who gave the original seed? Krishna gave the seed. Say, for example, some out of 120 cows, 90 cows have become extinct now. 90 varieties of deshi cows have become extinct now. If you want any of those cows, can scientists produce them? They have to go to Krishna and ask, sir, please give the original seed. No. Because the original seed is given by Krishna. Says that Aham Bija Prasad. It's a seed. So anything you take in this world, ultimately you will end up with Krishna only. He is the cause of all causes. I gave you a couple of examples now. One of the milk and one of the mango. You can take anything. Ultimately you will come, as you proceed further and further and further, he is the Adi Purusham Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. Source of everything. So therefore, he is the original source, and there will be many other temporary sources after that. So this is called Paramatattva. See, the Paramatattva is also called as Adi Purusha. Adi Purusha means, Adi Purusha means he is the first person. He is the original person from whom everything has come. Universes have come from him. All the living beings have come from him. He is the original. I think it's echoing, I think. Is it all right? Is it echoing? All right, no? Hare Krishna. How are you all hearing in the back side? Echoing, no? Echo can be reduced. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. All right? Okay. So what is the first Sanskrit word I told you for this, which I am explaining to you now? What did I say? Everybody remembers two words I used. Krishna is dash. Well, Adi Purusha I told, that I told just now. But initially told the three words, dash and Sarva Shaktiman and Akhila Rasamrita Bodhi. I told three words. So what is that first one? Paramatattva. Paramatattva means there is no truth equal to him, there is no truth beyond him. In Bhagavad also you find it. Matta paradaram na anyat, he says, there is no truth superior to him, he says. He is the ultimate truth. That is why Madhusudan Saraswati, although he was a Mayavadi in Varanasi, after studying all the literature, he came to the right conclusion. He said, Krishnāt param kimapi tattvam aham na jane, he said. Very simple Sanskrit. Krishnāt param means what? Beyond Krishna, kim api tattvam, any other truth, aham na jane, I don't know. There is no other truth beyond Krishna. Same way, Sripad Shankaracharya, when he wrote the Bhashyam for Vishnu Sahasranam, so that he wrote that the Brahma Jyoti is Paratattvam and Krishna is Paraparatatvam. Like that he wrote. So even his disciples, some of them became shocked. They thought Brahma Jyoti is the ultimate. But he is writing Brahma Jyoti is Paratattvam, Krishna is Paraparatatvam. So later on when other people challenged Shankaracharya's disciples, why did your Shankara write like this? Krishna is superior even to Brahman. As it is said in 14.27 Bhagavad Gita, anybody knows the verse? 14.27. It says, Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. I am the supporter in person of Brahman. Krishna says that. And that Shankaracharya confirms that in his statement. Why? Then the disciple said, our Shankaracharya writing Vishnu Sahasranama, he entered into Bhakti Bhava, therefore he said, like that they said. But you can see that Krishna is the ultimate truth. There is no truth equal to him or superior to him. Second thing, I told you, what second word I told you? Sarva Shaktiman. There are many Shaktis coming from Krishna. Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, similarly Brahma Shakti, Vishnu Shakti, Shiva Shakti, there are Shaktis. Antarang Shakti, Tata Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, Samvik Shakti, Kadana Shakti, Sandhini Shakti. There are Shaktis. We also include electrical Shakti, kinetic Shakti, potential Shakti, chemical Shakti. All these Shaktis are originally coming from Shaktiman, Krishna. Any Shaktis you see. So Shakti, some people say Adi Parashakti is ultimate. Some people say like that. But you can easily understand Shakti has to be possessed by Shaktiman. You all have seen weightlifters, big heavy weight lift. So where is the Shakti in their hands? You see that. Right now their hands are so heavy, it is almost a cross section of your body. So much flesh they have right now. So the Shakti is possessed by a Shaktiman. So therefore, it's a very obvious thing. Shakti, like the Surya has got so much Shakti, like the light and heat that is emanated by the sun. But that is coming from the sun. If the Surya is compared to Shaktiman, then the heat and light is compared to Shakti. So Shakti is possessed by Shaktiman. This is a very simple thing to understand. For example, if a stone comes flying through the window, comes and hits your head, what is the first thing you will ask? Say it starts bleeding a little bit. What is the first thing you will ask? Who threw the stone? Somebody loaded the stone with Shakti and they threw it inside. Correct? No? And that person is Shaktiman. And the stone is carrying Shakti. The physics came and came. So behind Shakti there is So this is energy hitting me and that is energetic. So behind energy there is So Radharani is Shakti, Krishna is Shaktiman. Lakshmi is Shakti and Narayana is and Sita Mata is Shakti and Ram is Shaktiman. Is that clear to everybody? So this is the second thing about absolute. First is Paramatattva. Paramatattva you can see so many shlokas in Bhagavatam. Namaste Purusham tu Adyam, she says. Adyam means Adi Purusha. Namaste Purusham tu Adyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antarvahiravasthitam. So in the same manner, many places you find in Bhagavatam. Kamme Mamadhyam Purusham Purana. The word Adi, many places it comes. Arjuna says, Param Brahma, Param Nama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam, Adhyam. That is Krishna, is Adi Deva. Original, from whom everybody else has come. So he is Paramatattva, number one. Number two, anybody remember Sanskrit term? Number two, what I told you? Sarva Shaktiman. Yeah, that's not it was one. Third one is called Akhila Rasa Amrita Murti. And Srimad Bhagavatam is famous for the third one, especially elaborating. This is called as Akhila means what? Anybody know simple Sanskrit? Akhila means all, total. Akhila. Rasa means rasa actually in English is translated as mellow. It is not just a mango juice or Kerala juice, it's a relationship between one person and another person. It's called rasa. Like all of you sitting and think about somebody whom you love so much that even remembering them gives you joy. Like a son may remember the mother, children may remember the parents, they get juice immediately. Remembering them. Sometimes boys even cry in the hospital when they are away from parents during when studying in the college. Sometimes they get homesickness. You remember them. That's it. On the other hand, with some people you have a very bitter relationship. When you think of them, you get frightened. You say, I don't want to go near them. Correct? Because you have both type of relation. So, Akhila Rasa Amrita Murti means what? God or Krishna is that person who exchanges loving relationship with all types of living beings in different rasas, especially primarily five. Shantaras, Dasaras, Sakyaras, Vatsaras, Mamuras. Shantaras means like the trees, the birds, the peacocks, the deers, and the cows and calves. This is Shantaras. And Dasaras means like Chitrak, Patrak, Rattak, they are all servants of Krishna. And Sakyaras means Sridhama, Sudama, Madhumaka, they are friends of Krishna. And Balaram, Bhadra, Rishabha, they are all elder than Krishna. They are like superior to Krishna. And Yashoda, they are all Vatsalya Bhava. And then the gopis like Radharani, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Kunduvidya, and they are all in Madhuri Rasa. So 5 rasas. Akhila Rasamrita Murti means Krishna is the topmost personality in exchanging pure love. So I would like to dwell on this 5 minutes. Very important topic. In this world also, can anybody say what we are all looking for? That's only one thing we are looking for, not more than one thing. Anybody? Huh? Okay, some of them said love. Happiness. That's correct. We are all looking for. So we are all pleasure seeking in our original nature. You see anybody doing anything, they are looking for pleasure. For example, even in the 5th story building, you put some sugar there and somehow find out and come there. Correct? Somehow they gather if you leave some sweets. Why they want to eat sweet? Because they get happiness. That means they are looking for happiness. Everybody is looking for happiness. Like why do people marry if you ask? They are looking for happiness and married life. Why do husband and wife want to beget children? They think that maybe if a child comes from home, it will be a more happy home. Correct, no? So then they want a child to have happiness. Now why do people go for a job? You will say to earn money. But after earning money, what will you do with that money? Huh? Now how do you find happiness from money? How money transforms into happiness? How? Huh? Right?
House, bungalow, car.
Simply getting house bungalow doesn't make you happy. See, for example, you have nobody with you, no wife, no children, no mother, no father. Getting bungalow will make you happy. You buy something to make someone who will become happy by you and giving them those facilities. No? Like for example, you give children some toy, some saree to buy, or you get a new car and show the wife that I got a new car. You actually intend to make one Chetan Vastu happy. You are not trying to accumulate Jada Vastu. You actually accumulate Jada Vastu to make a Chetan Vastu happy. If there is nobody Chetan involved, then you will not get happiness even if you earn money also. So therefore, with money, you purchase commodities to make another Chetan person happy. Chetan means you are Chetan, wife is Chetan, children are Chetan, correct no? Chetan means conscious, correct no? So you will see that here comes the point, very clear it is. We are looking for happiness. And the happiness comes from exchange of love. Very simple. Happiness comes from genuine exchange of love. Not just mere exchange. So therefore you should always observe the world around you. Like I am coming out the Pune station. One auto rickshaw wala comes there and says, "Swamiji, please keep your luggage, come in my auto." And with a big smile on the face, he is welcoming me and volunteering to take my luggage. Should I give him? Is he really loving me? He is smiling at me. He is willing to take my luggage. But what is his goal? To loot my pocket. He will take me in his auto, put the luggage there. If you ask him how much, he will say, "Whatever you give, I will accept. But after dropping me, you will ask for 500 rupees." There are people who do that. Correct? No? So there are many people who appear to love you by smiling at you. But if you very carefully see, they don't intend to love you at all. Their intention is to actually make you the customer to loot your pocket. Whether it is the receptionist, whether it is air hostess, whether it is salesman, whether it is a waiter in a hotel, whether it is auto wala, I told you. And you can add to this list many more people who may smile at you. So all smiling people are not actually loving you. Their intention is different. Therefore it is said in the path of bhakti, intent is more important than content. I will give you an example. You know, when Krishna goes to, Krishna is invited by Kamsa to come to Mathura. So, and why he was called? He told that there is a festival there. Dhanurya Yajna is going to be there and there will be wrestling fight and fun and everything. So when he went, there were very heavy duty wrestlers, like Chanur, Mushti, Shala, Toshala, such kinds of people. So these fellows are very huge in size, they had very hefty bodies, fleshy bodies. And they had practiced all this Malyuddha for many years. And Krishna and Balram were tender boys. You know, they were just 11 years old. Krishna was 11, Balram must be 12 or 13, very young. So all the people sitting in the stadium, they were all shouting. They said, "This is improper. How can these two small children be asked to fight with such Chand and Mushtik and all this fellows?" So anyway, when Krishna entered the arena, Chanur, he punched Krishna's body with his both the hands. At that time Krishna was laughing. Krishna actually enjoyed it. Because Krishna likes Kushti also. How many of you sitting here, you like stunt scene in movie you like? So where did we develop a taste for stunt? Because originally God has it. Therefore we also have a taste for it. So now Krishna was laughing. Was Krishna enjoying or not? What do you think? So can we say Chand and Mushtik did bhakti to Krishna? They did it because they are pleasing Krishna, no? They are giving pleasure to Krishna. Krishna is enjoying. it is not counted as bhakti. Why? Because their intention was to kill Krishna. That's a mistake. Therefore it is not bhakti. Therefore bhakti, what is important? Intention is very important. So Krishna incidentally became pleased, but they didn't intend to please him. This is a very important thing. Whereas Yashoda is trying to please Krishna. She was carrying Krishna in her laps, and Krishna was very joyful. Suddenly the milk in the kitchen started overflowing. Then Yashoda picked up Krishna and kept him down to run to the kitchen to save the milk so that she can turn it into butter later. So at the time Krishna cried. Now Chana Mushrika is making Krishna laugh, and here Yashoda is making him cry. So is Yashoda doing bhakti or not? What do you say? How many of you say yes, Yashoda is doing bhakti?
Yes.
All of you can. But she is making Krishna cry. But Krishna didn't become pleased. Her intention was to go and save the milk for whose pleasure? That is bhakti. Bhakti intention is very, very important. Why am I doing what I am doing? So therefore, Akila Rasamrita means Krishna knows the intention of every devotee. Shabari wants to give some fruit to Lord Ram, and Lord Ram is going to faraway place to go and meet her. Although she was 90 years or more. Lord Ram would have easily rejected, but he wanted to reciprocate with her love, so he went and accepted the fruits. Same way you will find that Krishna is a great reciprocator of love, even with the cows, the calves, the deers, the peacocks. One day Krishna and Balaram and Kamal were playing in the forest of Raj. So Krishna saw at a faraway distance, peacocks were making a circle and dancing. So he told his friends, you want to play now, I want to go and dance with them. So he went to dance with them. So he joined the circle, and the peacocks were very grateful. The Krishna is also dancing with us in the circle. And after the dance was over, the peacock picked up a peacock feather and kept it in Krishna's lotus feet as a gift. But Krishna picked it up and put it on his forehead to show how he valued it. So why am I telling you this little example? Krishna values the service of even a peacock. Peacock with a peacock feather, as simple as that. So it's called the Akila Rasa Amrita Bhakti, which means he is the powerful reciprocator of love of his devotee. You all know Krishna Sudama love, isn't it? So I'll tell you two extreme examples. I'll tell you. You all know, compare these two. On this side there is Shalya and Karna. On that side there is Arjuna and Krishna. On the battle, correct, no? So who is Arjuna's charioteer? Krishna. Who is Karna's charioteer? And try to look at these relationships. No? Is it a relationship of love and trust, or it is rusting relationship? Trusting relationship or rusting relationship? So which relationship is rusting? Karna and Shalya. Which is trusting relationship? You can see that. Actually, there is a story in the Mahabharata when Shalya told Karna, hey Karna, you are taking the Nagastra to hit Arjuna. Don't aim at the neck, aim at the chest. He said, because neck may slip. It's a small portion. Aim at the chest. When Karna heard it, he said, shut up your mouth. You are only a charioteer. Who are you to give me advice? Like he asked. So Shalya became very angry actually. Shalya told him a story, you know that? Shalya told, my dear Karna, hear this story, he said. He said, once upon a time a crow used to go to a Brahmana's house. Behind the Brahmana's house, the Brahmana's children were all very plumpy children, very rich Brahmana, not ordinary Brahmana, very rich Brahmana. So his children used to eat cashew nuts, badam, pista, all that they were eating. And so much the father gave them, they would throw on the backside of the house. And this crow ate it. And the crow became very plumpy also. And after the crow became very proud and plumpy, he came flying back to the other crows. And the other crows welcomed him. And the crow said, we Caucasian are the best people in the world, he said. Nobody is like us. And then they saw two swans sitting in a tree. And this crow was so proud, he went and told the two swans, hey, why are you guys sitting in the tree? If you have guts, come and watch what all magic I show, he said. The swans were very, very humble swans. They just silently sat. And the crow went up straight, like you see this fighter aircraft, they go like this. And it came down like this. It went round and round, left by right. And the crow asked the swan, how do you feel about what I am showing you? The swan said, oh, you're doing wonderful. And the crow asked, you come out of the tree, come for a competition with me. Then they started flying. So the two swans were flying like this, the crow flew in between. And the swans, you see, they don't, so he left him and went away in the middle of the battle. It's a rusting relationship. On the other side, what happened? When the Nagastra was sent, the Nagastra was aimed at Arjuna's neck. So what did Krishna do? He pressed the chariot by 1 foot, like that he pressed it. And it took out the mukut of Arjuna. The mukut fell on the ground and all the studded diamonds, they all got scattered away. Arjuna looked at Krishna and said, Krishna, you are putting me to shame. See, now only my hair is there. My mukut is gone. All the people in the battlefield are laughing at me. Please be careful in driving. He told Krishna. Krishna said, what do you mean? You are telling me about being careful. Your head should be on the ground now. Instead your mukut is on the ground. Mind you, he said. Then Arjuna understood what exactly happened. Krishna had pushed the chariot 1 foot down. When Arjuna knew that, he folded his palm and thanked Krishna and said, Krishna, you are a Paramatma in all our hearts. We can't protect ourselves. You decided to protect me, therefore I am saved. In this way, Arjuna's respect for Krishna increased, Krishna's love for Arjuna increased, so it became a trusting relationship. On the other side, we had trusting relationship. So in trusting relationship, is there happiness? What to speak of happiness? There is anger. In trusting relationship. There is a trusting relationship, there is exchange of love and also happiness. Both. And in the same manner, let us take one more example, analogy we will take. You take Drupada, Drona were children in Gurukul. And Krishna, Sudama were also children in Gurukul. Both were in Gurukul. Two different Gurukulas. Correct? Krishna, Sudama were in which Gurukula? In Avanti. Where is Avanti? Ujjain. Near Ujjain. So they were in this Gurukula. And Drupada, Drona were in another Gurukul. What happened with Drupada, Drona? Drupada had promised Drona that you are a Brahman, I am a Kshatriya, and I grow up, when I become a king, I give you half my kingdom. And of course, Drona told him, see, don't make such big promises now. When you become a king, we will see. But Drupada insisted, no, you are my very dear friend, I will give you half my kingdom. So, later on, when Drupada became the king, once Drona's wife told him, see, our child Ashwatthama, he doesn't have anything to eat. He doesn't have milk. Daily he is asking me for milk, and I am putting some white flour mixed with water and some sugar. And I am giving it like milk. Is it milk? No. That's all we have at home. She said, why don't you go to your friend, Drupada? He has promised you half the kingdom. At least you go and show your face, he may give some part of the kingdom. Like that she said. I was seeing in one of the pictures, Drona not only went alone, he went with his wife and child also. He went to the court. In the public assembly, he was humiliated. You know what he said? He told his ministers, hey, that poor Brahmana is coming with tattered clothes. You know what will happen to my prestige? So he told them, give him some alms and send him away. Like that he said. Ministers tried to send him away, but the Brahmana was insistent. Drona said, I want to meet Drupada. He is my close friend. So in the Sabha, public assembly came and stood in front of the king. And the king was putting his right leg on the left leg, top. And he spoke to him. Friendship can only be amongst equals. So Brahmana, you are a poor Brahmana, I am a royal king. You can't try to have friendship with such a king like this. Take some alms and get lost. He told him. Of course, the long story cut short, Drona also became vengeful. Later on, Drona defeated Drupada and he was brought on hands and knees in front of Dronacharya. And Drupada developed a cave vengeance and he created one son called Drishtadyumna in the sacrificial fire. And Drishtadyumna became the cause of the death of Dronacharya. It's a back and forth rusting relationship, you can see that. Horrible it is. Because Drupada had an artificial prestige and Drona did not like it. And Drona also had a vengeful attitude subsequently. So these type of relations are seen in the material world. On the other hand, you see, if Krishna had any prestige problem and Sudama went in, what is the prestige problem? Krishna ran to the door, embraced his friend, and spoke to him at the door itself for an hour. So much so Rukmini had to tell him, my dear Lord, why did you come inside and talk to him? He's standing at the door and talking for an hour. And Krishna and Sudama, they showered tears on each other, out of love. You remember the Gurukula days? They washed his feet and did arti for him and fed him prasad, so many things they did. And he massaged his feet. And he spent a week with him, remembering all the Gurukula days. See, and then you can see the loving relationship between Krishna and Sudama. You can see that. Again, it's a trusting relationship, a trusting relationship. So, the material world, which one do you find very common? Trusting or rusting? Initially appears trusting, eventually becomes rusting. In this way, like you open a banana cover and leave it on the table for 1 hour, what happens? Oxidized. Same with apple, you cut the apple and leave it on the table and go. After 1 hour you come and see, it's oxidized. Even in a lathe machine also, if you turn a metal, it is shining, and leave it and go, after a week it will be rusted. You will see. The material world, everything tends to go down. The relationships tend to rust over time. Like for example, imagine a boy and girl marriage is fixed, engagement is over. After 20 days, marriage is going to be there. Those 20 days, the person will be waiting with bated breath. Oh, my marriage is coming. Lot of expectations, correct now? Oh, I am going to live with my life partner and all people will come and give me gifts. So many people will give me and we'll go home to all the relatives' homes. They will all give us prasad to eat in different homes. Everybody enjoys by receiving gifts and being praised by all the people and the newly married life. And great attraction is there, a lot of anticipation, expectation is there. But because both the parties are having little exploitative mentality and enjoying mentality and having innumerable expectations from each other, when they come close to each other, then the loving relationship becomes a rusting relationship. You will see that oftentimes. For some people it rusts very quickly and some people it takes longer time to rust. But to maintain the loving relationship, Prabhupada says they should be like Lakshmi Narayan. Prabhupada says, if you see Lakshmi Narayan, Lakshmi tells Narayan that I will always be at your feet to serve you. Narayan says, no, here is a place for you. In Narayana's chest there is a golden hair. It's called Srivatsa. Lakshmi, you go and relax there. So Narayana is telling Lakshmi to relax and Lakshmi says, I want to serve. What a wonderful concept. Selfish. Bhagavatam is about selfishness. Material world is about selfish. Just see. So, Prahlad Maharaj, when he met Lord Narasimha, he offered a prayer. He said, Aham tvakamas tadbhaktas tvam cha swami anapashraya nanyate havayorarthu raja sevakayoriva. My dear Lord, you are actually Raja, I am a sevak. And you are asking me to ask for some vardhan, benediction. But how can I ask you something? I am a businessman that I came to you. I did some bhakti for you and then you are going to give me something in return. I don't want anything. I simply wanted to love you. Therefore I did this for you. I don't want anything from you, he says. So, Lord Narasimha didn't leave him. Lord Narasimha told him, you have to ask something at any cost. Because I am so pleased with you, I want to give you something out of love. Then he asked one thing. You know what he asked? Yadidasyasi me kaman varam stvam varadarishabha kamanam hridiyasam rogam bhavatastu vrinevaram. You know what he says? Yadidasyasi me kaman. My dear Lord, if you really want to give me something, one thing you give me. He said, in my heart there will be some material desires. Destroy them, he said. Yadidasyasi me kaman varam stvam varadarishabha kamanam hridiyasam rogam. He says, destroy any material desire that may be there in my heart. So that I can worship you with pure love. That's all he asked. This is Prahlad. Lord Narasimha was really touched by Prahlad's prayer. And then he asked one more desire. My father was very demoniac, please liberate him. And Lord Narasimha said, 23 generations, 21 generations, Sapta Trim, he told them. Generations will be liberated Prahlad for your purity. So Prahlad is a pure servant, and Narasimha is a pure master. And the demigod and the followers are impure servant, the master and impure servant. So Bhagavatam teaches pure love. Actually, as I told you just a few minutes ago, we all are looking for happiness. And in happiness there are different, you can have a mobile also which gives you some happiness, correct? No? You can play with some, like children will play video games, give some happiness. No? You know, or you sit with the mobile and you watch so many things. But you will see that all these things give you temporary happiness. And they are all, you can actually quantify how much pleasure each one gives happiness. But the highest happiness is experienced when there is an exchange of love and exchange of genuine love. And that's what we all are looking for. Why do people want to return home and be with mother, father, wife, children, everybody? Because they trust the relationships at home. They know that they are not my enemies. They will not cause problem for them. They are my well-wishers. Like for example now, say my mother is cooking and giving me something. I can close my eyes and put it in my mouth without any fear, because I know she will not harm me. Right now. On the other hand, if I am going in the train, can I buy a bhaji or pakoda and eat it? Can I close my eyes and put it? Because the fellow who is selling is a businessman. He might have used recycled oil 20 times recycled. Possible or not? Because he is concerned about what? He is concerned about his pocket. But mother is concerned about your heart, health, as well as your heart also. See, your pocket and heart are one behind the other. But mother is looking at the heart and he is looking at the pocket. And you can clearly know who is looking at the pocket, who is looking at the heart. So Bhagavatam teaches you how to become a person of heart and how to genuinely love God and how to genuinely experience His love. That is Srimad Bhagavatam all about. Ultimately, Savaikum Samparo Dharmo Yado Bhakti Lalokshade Ahaitukya Pratigata Yatma Suprasidati. He is saying two conditions are placed in Bhagavatam. Our going to temple should be without any hetu, ahaituki, and that should never be interrupted by any material conditions. See, in this world, love can be interrupted by material conditions. Say, for example, there was one boy in Pune. He did his MBA in local college. So he wanted to marry a particular girl. So he went to the father and said, so father asked him, what is your earning job? He said, I am earning 4.5 lakh per annum. Father said, anything less than 8 lakh per annum, I cannot accept for my daughter. Get lost. So they tried their best, both boy and girl, they tried, but father didn't allow. That means in this world, the monetary consideration can break the love. Correct, in this world. The boy wanted to marry a particular girl. Mother and father of the girl agreed. Girl also was very happy, boy was also very happy. Everything was well. Both parents are agreed. But the girl's father said, I don't do anything without consulting my parents. So you have to get certificate from them. So the girl's grandmother, she saw the boy and said, I think this boy is little black. Our girl is very fair, we should not give, she said. And the marriage was stopped. In this world you find, if you are Kala and the girl is Gora, marriage stops. Whereas when you go to Krishna, there is no material consideration. Krishna doesn't say, I am Lakshmipati, at least you should be Crorepati. Krishna say that? Never. Even Sudama was such a poor fellow. He was ready to, Krishna accepted it, correct? This Krishna is seeing the color of your pigment, are you black or fair? And does he see whether you are handsome or ugly? Gupta was handsome or ugly? Yeah, you can see that Krishna doesn't see whether you are beautiful or ugly, he doesn't see. He doesn't see your economic status. Is Krishna seeing whether you are educated or uneducated? He doesn't see anything. He just sees he's a Bhava Grahi. Just sees the Bhava in your heart. If you have some, there is one sloka also which says this. Murko vadati Vishnaya, Dhiro vadati Vishnave, Uvayostu samam punyam, Bhava Grahi Janardana. You know what is the meaning of this? They are putting tilak. Keshavaya Namaha, Narayanaya Namaha, Madhavaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. And then what is the next one? Vishnave Namaha. Somebody may say Vishnaya Namaha. Because Narayanaya, he may say Vishnaya. Vishnaya, is it correct? It is wrong according to Sanskrit grammar. You should say Vishnave. Similarly, Vrindaya Tulasi Dev Yai. You should say Tulasi Dev. Some people say Vrindaya Tulasi Dev Yai. Yai Keshava says that people say like that. You see that? Yai. They say. Actually, Vrindaya Tulasi Dev Yai. Priyaya But in case by mistake he told Vrinda Aye Tulsi Devi Aye, Krishna will tolerate you, don't worry. He's a Baba Gra, he's another. If somebody else, if Krishna was a Sanskrit scholar, he will catch you by the ears. One boy used to come to our IIT program. Our boys would tell him, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Boys would be chanting. So this boy came, he's a son of a Sanskrit scholar. He would stop the chanting and say, hey, it is not Krishna, it is Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna. If you say Krishna, it is Draupadi. So you would say like this, Draupadi will come instead of Krishna. But you know, Krishna is not such a foolish lord, you see. He is like a Baba crying. So, therefore you can see, Ahai, there is no interruption in your love. Even if you have no qualification, only one qualification, what is Bhava? If you have Bhava for Krishna, you have everything. If you have no Bhava for Krishna, you have nothing. So therefore Bhagavatam talks about how to awaken that Bhava for Krishna. That is the main subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that many pastimes, there is Dhruva's Charitra, there is Prahlad Charitra, there is Ambarish Charitra, Pandava Charitra, in that there is Samudra Manthan Leela, there is Gajendra Moksha Leela. But all the Leelas have one central theme, how to awaken that genuine love for God, which has no other motivation, no other aspiration. About 200 and how much? 238 devotees are taking the Srimad Bhagavatam. Last year, about 90 pujaris, I think, were given the Srimad Bhagavatam. Many Sri Vaishnava temple pujaris took up. And for them to purchase one Bhagavatam set may be unaffordable. 6,000, 7,000 rupees would be too costly for them. So Leland was telling me that many of you sponsored also many of the sets last time, and it would be reached to those temples. Now when Leland went to those temples, he told me that he saw them studying it, which was so pleasing to hear. You see, so nice it is. So because they are already pujaris of the Lord, if they read the Bhagavatam, they will do the pujari service with great devotion. It will enhance the devotion. So it's the best service that can be done. Actually, it's like a charity to Brahmana. Correct, no? Brahmana deserves charity. He's already worshipping the Lord. So I heard this time also he got many, 120 this time. More than 90 it has increased this time. Very, very wonderful service. So some of the IT engineers may put the money and the pujari Brahmanas they are getting the Srimad Bhagavatam set. It's very nice collaboration it is. Because when they study the Bhagavatam, whoever is coming to the Vishnu temples, Ram temples, they will teach them some pure messages, just like we are discussing Krishna Katha today. So they will also speak. The beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam is it will completely cleanse our heart. And even while living in this world, we can lead a very pure life. In fact, even family relationships between husband, wife, children, parents will become completely non-exploitative. It will come to the platform of pure love, pure affection. And that relationship is true relationship. See, the love between husband, wife and children, this can only experience its greatest height when the relationships are spiritual. It is very deeply satisfying. Otherwise, all the other love they show in the movies, and many people on the road while going, they wear costly dresses, they tightly embrace each other and go as if they want to display the love of the whole world. But at home they fight like cat and rat. The real love actually can only awaken when spiritual love is awakened. So, thanks to Leland Prabhu and his wife and all the team of devotees in Gachibowli, year after year you all have been increasing the number of Bhagavatam sets. And this time very beautiful certificate is made to give to all the devotees so that those who don't get the volumes of Bhagavatam immediately they will get a copy of this certificate also. I can keep a very nice appropriate verse is also put up with this. Nashta Praya Sabhadrena Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavad Krishna Mishtoki Bhakti Bhakti. Regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and the rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praying to the transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. And Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Bhagavad ki Jai, Namaste ki Jai. the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So I will utter one name and you have to say one Haribol only, okay? Subbarao Prabhuji and his goodbye. Praveen Prabhuji and his goodbye. Akinchana Priya Prabhuji and his goodbye. Udayananda Prabhuji and his goodbye. Sri Giriraj Prabhuji and his goodbye. Mahesh Prabhuji and his goodbye. All are married now. Santosh Aditya Prabhu and his goodbye. And Mahalingam Iyer Prabhuji and his goodbye. Leelananda Prabhu and Anuradha Prema. And others in the satsanga. That is the language I think.
Srimad Bhagavatam said, Hari Bol. I would like to say something before I get there. One of the things is we were around 40, 45. We're struggling. We don't know what to do, right? So you all have experience calling people for Bhagavatam sets. It's always like, you speak for 20 minutes and they say, not this year, right? It can go anywhere. Then I called one Prabhuji. His name is Krishnamacharya Prabhu. May I request Krishnamacharya Prabhu to please come here? Let's welcome him with 3 loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Krishnamacharya Prabhu is a very nice devotee, Prabhuji. Yes. So Krishnamacharya Prabhu, I called him and said, Prabhuji, now Krishna has to supply Bhagavatams to Vaishnavas. And you tell me who are the Vaishnavas who want to take it. Yeah, so Prabhuji gave me the list of all Sri Vaishnava temples where they are actually eager to take Bhagavatam. It's not like it's going there. And miracles happen. Subbarao Prabhu and Sucharita Mataji and Saraswati Mataji, we were like running a call center for 3 days. Literally a call center. So as soon as Prabhuji started giving names, one name is coming from his side and one person is coming for donation. It just went on like that. We didn't understand what's going on. So he's sending 2 names to Bhagavatam Circle. He's sending 3 names, 3 Bhagavatam. So by the time we realized in a single day, we went from 44 to around 190. Just went. Thank you very much for the blessings are there for all of you. So Prabhuji, since you have come here, Hare Krishna, take one card from Prabhuji's hand. Hari Bol. Hari. It is more than, we should not put a price, but it crossed at one point 14 lakh rupees and we had to do reconciliation. We didn't know how to do. It was just going and going. So 183, 120 at least went to the temples and referring to their friends, parents, themselves, and 29 English, and out of that many of them donated to students. There are many students who can't afford it. They want to read it and they are part of the youth preaching. And 3 youth preaching centers are opening, so we also donated to the centers. And one in Canada, 223 donations. But you can see 72 were taken for self. New people who are going to read Bhagavatam. And we all have also started something called Bhagavad reading clubs. One in English and one in Telugu. And Subbarao Prabhu, Udayananda Prabhu, they are all starting it. Some have already started. And you all can join that and just read Bhagavatam every week 2 times, 10 pages at each time. So you finish like around 20 pages in a week. So you can finish Bhagavatam in like 3.5 to 4 years, just by attending that. So you all can call back the people who have given you Bhagavatam. So we'll make sure that you also finish your Bhagavatam. Hari Bol. So we're going to take it. So the prayers are already done to Radha Madan Mohan. So don't think that it is just a hurry you are taking something. Prabhuji, because there were so many Bhagavatam sets, Prabhuji even signed it on a sticker. And he said, please stick it, so that signing time also will take time. So just mechanically we might be giving it so fast. But within our hearts we have an immense amount of gratitude and happiness that you all have taken Bhagavatams. And yes. Yes. I will try to tell few words as this start. Yes. It will not give it long. But I will try to
Actually, Veeranand Prabhu's glorification generally tends to be a little longer about everybody because he knows so much about devotees. So you can give it 1 or 2 sentences so that everybody gets that.
one person I would like to. Balgovind Prabhu, my very dear, very dear devotee who has been guiding me many times. So Prabhuji, my parents attend the satsang of Balgovind Prabhu. So what Balgovind Prabhu did is he told his entire congregation, everybody will chant for 3 days continuous 64 rounds. 64, 64, 64. So now you know how we did 238 sets. So they were chanting in the background, you were taking the benefit. So my parents were chanting 64, 64, 64. Both my father and mother and many of the devotees, and on the other side we were distributing books. So loud Haribol to all the devotees who chanted 64 rounds. Yeah, Mataji inspired 4 other devotees to take Bhagavatam. Haribol! Haribol! Come on, I can't hear Haribol at the back. Haribol! Hare Krishna. So Gaurav Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Yes. One Hanuman temple and Narasimha temple pujaris have come here to collect. May I request them to please come forward. Let's loudly chant Haribol! Haribol! They are going to give it in those temples. They personally come here to collect. So let's say Haribol. How many want Hanumanji's blessings? Say loud Haribol. Hanuman ji ki. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai Gaur Pramanande. Hare Krishna. Gaurav Prabhu has donated to a Hyderabad school. Dharmashri ma'am. So if you are here, Narasimha Swami temple. They are going to give it to Narasimha Swami temple. Prabhuji, please make sure they read every day. Then Chandra Prabhu, he donated a set to Narasimha Charlu Prabhu in Odela. He could not make it here today. Chandra Jagadish Prabhu. And Samrajya Mataji has donated in Vizag, one side to temple. And Deepti Mataji has donated 3 Bhagavatam sets in Warangal. Haribol! Are you here, Deepti Mataji? Hare Krishna. Again, once again, you are seeing the same name, Kamalapriya Mataji from US, who inspired many. And the sets have gone to Sri Ramalu School and Chidambar Shastri. And Kamesh Challa, Prabhu has taken in Atlanta for self. And yeah, so there are many donors who came to me. They gave 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 like that. Loved everything and we gave one set to one school. Chidambar Shastri's disciples. This is a Veda Pathashala. So we have given sets to even Veda Pathashala. So that students are taught Srimad Bhagavatam there. Haribol! Haribol. Then Sampath Kumar Prabhu has gifted it to Vijayanagar. Hare Krishna. Haribol. All the students are coming. So Anup Prabhu has gifted it and taken one for self. If you are here, please come. And Sumant Reddy. Throw your hand. Yeah, Sumant Reddy Dharam has Prabhuji has donated to our temple Venkateshwara Devasthanam. So if you are here, please come. Hare Krishna. Haribol for Prabhuji. Haribol. So Satyadev Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Satyadev Prabhu and Srivali Mataji. Mataji is not here. Oh, very good. Okay. All children are getting the special writings from Prabhuji. Haribol. Haribol. Yeah. So Satyadev Prabhu is going to come next. Loud Haribol to Satyadev Prabhu is a wonderful devotee. And has inspired 3 Bhagavatam sets so far. Haribol. Yeah, and Sridhar Kanchakutla, now he is a devotee in US whom Kamalapriya Mataji has inspired. He gave 10 Bhagavatam sets. So the temples they go is Venkateshwara Devasthanam, Ramalayan, Gopala Krishna temple, then Narsingha Garu, board member of the temple, then also the school Anantaya, and Ramanujacharya temple, then Bharat Sharma in a temple, and MLL Prasad, temple pujari, KRG Sharma, they are all pujaris. They are all pujaris who are taking it. Keep going down to them. Yeah, go a little up. Maybe read the up. Yeah, KRG Sharma, Mani Bhushan, Venkatesh Sharma, Veleti Pawan Kumar, G. Komidinya, Gopalacharlu, and Kalaju, Lapi, Srinivasalu. These are all the temples that Bhagavatam have gone. Haribo! Hare Krishna. Yogesh, Vandava Prabhu has taken it herself. Padma Mataji has taken it herself. Sudhakar Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
That's right.
Oh, Hare Krishna, right there. Hare Krishna. So there is a Sudhakar Prabhu's family, Dasraj Prabhu and his good wife, they are coming. Yes, please come. So Lord Haribol, Haribol. So here is a very nice family. Dasraj Prabhu is good wife, and already Arvind Prabhu and his children are also here. So Prabhuji has taken a very good initiative. You must have received some pamphlet of dog products. Have you seen them? How many have received that? Very good, you have received. If you are not, you can take. So he is encouraging a lot of goshalas to become self-reliant. So he is encouraging them to create products which you all can use. So please, you can take the pamphlet and Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Loud Hari Bol to a wonderful family. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Yes. And Amit Prabhuji has gifted it in New Delhi. Shiv Darshan Gupta Prabhu, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Then Matham Lingarai, Prabhuji has gifted. Matham Lingarai Prabhu has gifted in Karimnagar. And sorry, is taken for self. Then Sai Chitrata Mataji has taken for self. Silvasha. Prabhuji has gifted his name. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody was taken Bhagavatam, we are almost there. Another 10 names we are done. But after that we want to have wonderful Aarati. So I would request everybody to stand up after that. I will let you know when. And then we'll have Aarati here. We'll have nice Kirtan. And then we'll have Prashad. Hare Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna.
श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महाराज